This is Frontline Voices, conversations with our local heroes. Here's your host, Matthew Latham.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frontline Voices, where we honor the unsung heroes who run towards danger when everyone else runs away. Today's guest is Dave Barrand, Fire Chief of Ashley Hudson Volunteer Fire Department in Northeast Indiana. Chief Barrand leads a volunteer department that serves both Steuben and DeKalb counties, operating across multiple jurisdictions with a small but dedicated roster of volunteers. Under his leadership, the department responds to a wide range of incidences, from structure fires and brush fires to vehicle accidents, medical calls, and complex industrial emergencies. Over the past several years, Chief Barrand has emphasized training, interdepartmental cooperation, and preparedness, particularly as his department has faced incidences involving industrial facilities and non-traditional fire hazards. He's also been open about the challenges volunteer departments face today, including staffing, funding, and the growing expectation placed on rural agencies. We're glad to have him here to talk about leadership, volunteer service, and what it takes to protect a community when the resources are limited, but the responsibility is not. Chief Barrand, welcome to the show. Well, Chief, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate all of the hard work that you've put in the community. As I understand, you've got 25 years of experience, 25 years of extensive firefighting and EMS treatment for patients. But I want to start way back. Let's start at the beginning. Tell me a little bit about what it was like being a young Chief Dave Barrand.
So I started off back in the 1990s. I understand it's probably before a lot of people's time. But I got the itch to serve the community and to be involved and help the community by saving one of my old neighbors when I moved up here from Allen County. I moved up here to Pleasant Lake, started there, and one of my neighbors fell through the ice, and we ran over and pulled him out, got him to safety, and from there I just got the itch. The volunteer fire department in Pleasant Lake, they really invited me in, and they give me or myself and one of my friends an award for saving the neighbor's life. And from there, I just took off and went from there.
It sounds like that water rescue was really impactful in your life.
It was very rewarding for me to be able to help somebody that really needed that help. That's the biggest thing. It's just that rewarding feeling that I get.
Ultimately, is that what inspired you to get into the fire service?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So after that event, you joined the Steuben County or the Steuben Township Fire Department as a junior. What was it like stepping into that department as a teenager? And what kind of calls and training sticks out the most for you from those early junior days?
Back in my junior days, it was extremely fun. For one, back then we had way more fires, and we didn't have as many fire trainings per se as we do now. I think 9/11 changed a lot of that for the fire service and the emergency services in general, opening up more trainings and more events. But it was kind of nice in a way because when I was a junior, there was two other gentlemen with me, and we would go up there after school and do homework and hang out, and it was just like a club for us and a bonding situation, setting for us.
So it really just became like the clubhouse.
It did
for your youth. That's really cool.
And as a young teenager, it was nice just to get out of the house to go do something meaningful and give you a place to go study. And
now, as you progressed, you went through the junior program and then you became a full member.
Correct.
How was that transition going from junior to full member?
The biggest thing there was, just the things you get or got to do. So, as a junior, you're kind of held back a little bit, not allowed to do certain things. and then being that full member, being able to go interior to do different things, and also having that availability of moving forward with getting a lot of your training done before you turned 18 was very nice.
So, as I understand it, later on, after you were a full member, your mom became an auxiliary member. What kind of family dynamic did that impact you and the firehouse, being that you had really a member of your own family right there with you?
It makes it nice because it gives you a way to vent, and then it also brings that understanding of why we do what we do.
So, after you spent this time with Steuben Township, after a while, you made the transition to Ashley Fire. Tell me how that came about and what that was like making that transition from different departments.
It was quite an eye-opening experience for me because, for one, Steuben Township is a slower department, and Ashley's always been a little bit busier and continues to be busier than a lot of other departments in the area. And it's kind of, to me, it's funner because we are busier. We're not sitting around as much, and it also makes it nice that my wife is involved, girlfriend at the time. Again, it just gives that whole being able to have that understanding. I'm not sure how it is with like you and your wife. Not having that spouse involved or the family, true family involvement. I know your kids are up here a lot anyway, but you know, it's to me it's nice because for me, my wife totally understands what's going on. When I tell her I'm going to be home in a minute, and it's an hour out later.
And going into that, you mentioned that you are married to Peggy, and you both are in the fire service. Tell me how that relationship started, and what how the move to Ashley came about.
Well, she was divorced at the time, and then I started dating her and moved in together. And again, having that common background, and that was one of my big decisions, even moving over or transferring over from Steuben Township, is because of dating her.
Now, being that you both are in the service, it I'm sure time management is incredibly difficult, especially when the tones drop in the middle of the night of, oh, who's going, who's not going. How do you guys manage that? How do you manage the at home life, being that you both are really on that on call aspect?
Uh, it's hit and miss, to be honest with you. I mean, it's kind of a judgment call. Um, the nice thing is her mom being supportive of what we do and everything, especially once we adopted our grandson. You know, if it's a structure fire, I'm going. She stays back. And then if it is a structure fire, then she can call her mom and she can wait a few extra seconds for her mom to get in here and help watch her grandson.
But you're just like, no, I'm going to play.
I'm going to play.
All right. So after you moved to the Ashley department, you eventually made assistant chief, and then you took over as chief around 2016. Can you tell me what it was like transitioning from that black hat guy to the one calling all the shots?
It was honestly a little scary going through the different ranks and the different roles, but it was also rewarding because of the different aspects and different things you could bring forth, and just trying to make the department better and always trying to, look out for what's best for the community.
One of the big programs that happened during your time as being chief is in 2017. You guys brought in the new Rescue One truck, full med complement, extrication tools, the works. What did that upgrade mean to this rural department when not many departments in the area have a rolling toolbox, essentially?
So it made it really nice just to be able to have an basically, like you said, a rolling toolbox for us. If one guy could bring it out, and we have everything that we absolutely need. So it makes it really nice, and we use it as a mobile command unit. It don't get used like that as much, but we have used it on some of our bigger scenes. It's just very rewarding, especially with us getting into the water rescue side a bit more, with us being involved with the dive team. Being able to have that for them is just huge.
Around that same time, there's a noticeable increase in community involvement when it comes down to open houses or passing out smoke detectors. Tell me why that has become such a big push.
Well, for one, again, you got to look out for your community that you serve, and without that community support, most of your fire departments would not do that well.
Some more of the innovative aspects that have taken place during your time here. You guys have acquired grain bin rescue equipment. Tell me what kind of benefit that is, especially being that you're in a rural community.
Well, we even before we got that equipment, we've done a couple grain bin rescues. They're very time restrictive, and it's very time sensitive. So just to have that, and with us having some really large farmers to some really small farmers, just to be able to protect them or help them in that time of need is a necessity.
Along with the grain bin aspect, you've had multiple trainings with multiple departments. Can you tell me what inspired the collaboration aspect when it comes to the surrounding departments? You've been a very good forward thinking advocate for interdepartmental trainings. Can you tell me what inspired that?
Well, we all work together on a house fire. We all work together on those events. We all have to work together on other events as well. So we might as well train. We might as well try to prosper and work together to best serve not just Ashley Hudson area, the whole Steuben and DeKalb County, but all is one.
Along with that, you've had multiple um, extensive trainings, countywide trainings that invite departments from all over, even the state, into other states. How has that transpired that you have pushed the initiative to have this big push for big trainings and offering not only your department members but inspiring other departments in the county to have just these wonderful giant trainings where everybody can work together?
Oh, I honestly feel like we all again work together. We all need to train together. You it just something needs to happen.
In your time, you've worked some really interesting situations. You've had the the County Road 23 fire, the garage fire. In 24, there was the Hudson fire, and all the way back to the big barn fire in 2022. Was there any of these instances that things stood out to you that was quite memorable?
It's always a rewarding feeling again to be able to serve the community and to help them in their time of need. But it's also where the whole collaboration of teamwork through the different agencies always come together. Again, we all work together as one. Why not train it and prosper as one?
Since 2000, you've had an advanced plastics recycling facility brought right in here in Ashley, and you guys have responded to some things as far as unique vapor releases and small fires and that. How have those instances changed the way you prepare this department?
It just makes me want to collaborate with them more and work together because again, they are the subject matter experts on what they do. And again, without them being right there by our sides, you know, this is all new to us and fairly new to them, but they are the subject matter experts, and just that whole collaboration piece moving forward.
To build on that, Ashley Hudson is developing fairly quickly, and you have a lot of industries here that has a lot of hazardous materials involved. How has that affected how you've prepared your fire department, knowing that you live in really an area that is susceptible to a lot of chemicals?
It's very interesting, to have that, and I'm sure it's a lot like that in most communities, but it does seem like we have like a hazmat playground waiting to happen. But again, it's just that whole collaboration piece with the EMAs, with state leaders, to just giving myself that comfort as the fire chief, and just more training to get everybody up to par in case it does
Alrighty. Well, we'll get away from the scary part of it. Let's get into more of the public side of it. Over the last few years, you and I have worked together on some of these instances, but you've had a really big push on getting into the local schools, talking to children's. If it's DeKalb Middle with True Life Tuesdays, or if it's going down to the local elementary school and talking about fire prevention or career day. How has that built, and what is the importance of us getting into the schools and talking to the next generation?
Well, move forward with that. I mean, again, it's just all community involvement, and without the youth being interested in the fire service, emergency services, who's gonna replace our shoes when we're ready to hang it up?
That is very true. That is very true. Going on to that, filling our shoes. Everybody's well aware that retention and recruitment is tough everywhere, especially in the volunteer departments. What's the biggest challenge you see going forward in the fire service as far as recruitment and retention?
It's scary, to be honest with you. Again, trying to look forward. I mean, there's not very many young people interested, but that's why we have to stay involved in the schools to keep that involvement and hopefully spark some interest.
Looking ahead, the future of the fire service. We have new things like electric vehicles, so you're going to be dealing with EV fires, more industrial facilities coming in, current climate changes. What do you see the future of the fire service evolving to, dealing with these new challenges?
I think we're always going to have those new challenges, new technology moving forward, and it's always interesting. It's kind of innovative to see what's going on and what's changing, and how the emergency services in general changes. It's really interesting to see it move forward. I'm not sure the answers.
With that, I've got one last question for you, Chief. If there's a young person listening, and not necessarily just a young person, if anybody's listening and they're thinking of joining their local fire department, what would you tell them?
I would encourage them anytime they see the doors open or see a firefighter wearing a t-shirt, make contact with them, talk to them, see if they can come up and tour the facility. Just come in and visit. We are not that scary people. We like to hang out, drink coffee, and
Just have a good old time.
yeah, I mean, it's the best way to do it is just make that contact.
Well, Chief, I want to thank you for your many years of service, and I want to thank you for sitting down with me and talking about all the insights of the fire service. I hope that we can do this again.
I thank you for the privilege of allowing me to come up and talk to you, and I enjoyed doing it.
Alrighty, we'll talk again soon. Stay safe.
You too, brother.
Today's conversation with Chief Dave Barrand is a reminder that frontline leadership doesn't always come with resources, recognition, or guarantees. Sometimes it just comes with responsibility. If you found value in this discussion, consider sharing it with someone who serves, leads, or supports their local first responders. Conversations like this help bring visibility to the realities faced by volunteer fire departments and the people who step forward to lead them. Thank you for listening to Frontline Voices, where we highlight the experience, responsibility, and service behind the badge. Until next time, stay safe and take care.